Welcome back to our channel. Have you ever caught someone staring at you with that shy, lingering look, but just couldn't figure out what's on her mind? Or maybe there's a girl who lights up when she's around you, but something seems to be holding her back. Here's a thought you might not have considered. She likes you, but thinks you're not interested. Crazy, right? Imagine the girl you're crushing on sitting there overthinking, second-guessing herself and wondering if she's reading you all wrong. Sounds kind of heartbreaking, isn't it? But here's some good news. What if there were subtle signs telling you exactly how she feels? Well, that's what here for today. We're breaking down the hidden signals that a girl likes you but genuinely believes you're not into her. These are the little things most guys miss, leaving them stuck in that frustrating "does she or doesn't she" limbo. But you don't have to stay there sometimes. All it takes is understanding the hints she's already giving. And trust me, knowing what to look for, it could be the key to turn in a silent "what if" into something real and meaningful. Stay tuned, because this is where it all begins. One subtle eye contact picture. This, you're out together, maybe at a cozy coffee shop or a lively gathering, and you feel her eyes meet yours across the room for a brief moment. It's like the world freezes, and then just like that, she looks away fast, almost as if she's worried you might notice. Your first thought might be H, and maybe she's just shy or not interested. But wait. Don't dismiss it so quickly. That fleeting glance might actually be her way of saying, "I see you," without using a single word. Eye contact is one of those underrated but incredibly powerful gestures when it comes to attraction. Think about it. When someone is interested in you, they might linger on your gaze hoping to catch your attention, but if she's convinced you're not interested, she's trying to guard her feelings. She doesn't want to face rejection, so instead of holding your gaze, she pulls back, keeping her emotions under wraps. It's like she's speaking through her eyes, sending tiny signals while trying not to expose herself. Completely romantic, absolutely risky for her. Maybe a little. She's walking a tight RPP, balancing between intrigue and staying mysterious. Here's a tip for next time. If you catch her glancing at you and then looking away, pay close attention to her body language. Does she seem more aware of your presence? Maybe even mirroring your movement, subtle. Right, that quick moment of eye contact says more than you might realize. What's beautiful about this form of communication is the vulnerability hidden behind it. She's interested, but she's playing it safe because she isn't quite sure where you stand, and who could blame her? The fear of being transparent when you're unsure of someone's feelings is so relatable, so here's your move. If you feel that uncanny spark, try catching her eye again, this time with a soft smile, or even holding the moment a little longer. It's these tiny gestures that can mean everything. What might seem small could actually be her opening the door just enough for you to step through. Don't ignore what her eyes are saying. They might just be where the story begins. Before we dive into next point, here's a little secret. Want to win the heart of the woman you've always dreamed of? The solution might be simpler than you imagine. Click the link in the description or pin comments to uncover the key to building the deep connection you've been searching for. Don't wait. Start your journey to lasting love today. 2. She's active on your social media. Imagine this. You post a photo of yourself, maybe something casual like you out with friends, or just a snapshot of your day. Within minutes, you see that familiar notification. It's her liking your post, or maybe even leaving a comment. Nothing too dramatic or over the top though. No string of hard emojis, no OMG, you look amazing kind of comments instead. It's something subtle, something thoughtful. She's leaving her digital fingerprint in a way that doesn't scream, "Look at me," but still make sure you notice what she's doing. Is like a soft knock on the door of your online world. It's her way of being present without making it too obvious. Smart, right? She wants you to know she's paying attention, yet she's keeping things low-key, because deep down, she isn't sure how you feel about her. if she thought you were into her. She might be more bold, but since she's unsure, she plays it safe, dropping delicate hints instead of loud signals. It's her way of showing she's interested while keeping her vulnerability tucked away. Here's what's fascinating. She's curating a balance, not too much but not too little either. It's like her interactions are a quiet invitation. Hey, I notice you, while still preserving her mystery if her likes and comments are consistent. That says a lot. She's not just scrolling mindlessly, she's taking time to engage with you. And but there's more. Watch for the pattern. Does she seem to interact with posts where you're smiling, traveling, or even looking extra good? That's her way of saying, I like what I see, and I want you to know it. She's leaving breadcrumbs for you to follow, hoping you'll take the hint. Now the next move is on you. Instead of just brushing it off or thinking, oh, she's nice, consider her consistency. Maybe it's time to slide into her DMs, or better yet, turn those likes and comments into real-life plans. She's already stepping into your world. How about inviting her to stay a little longer? 3 engages with your friends, okay? Picture this. You're hanging out with your friends, maybe chilling at someone's house or grabbing some late-night food, and she's there. But instead of just sticking by your side, she's doing something that might surprise you. She's making an effort to talk to your friends. Not in a forced or over-enthusiastic way, but casually, naturally. Maybe she's cracking jokes, showing genuine interest in their stories, or even following them on social media. What's happening here isn't random. It's a carefully thought-out mood move. This isn't about her seeking attention for herself. No, it's much deeper. She's easing her way into your circle, hoping to become a small but meaningful part of your life. One friend at a time, by creating these small connections with your friends. She's planting seeds and helping you see what it might feel like to have her as a part of your world. It's kind of sweet. Don't you think she's making herself comfortable in the space around you without stepping on toes or overwhelming anyone? But here's the genius part. She's not overstepping or making it obvious. You won't catch her hogging your time when you're all together or acting clingy. Instead, she's playing it cool, striking the perfect balance between being present and giving you space. After all, one of her goals here is to make sure your friends like her too, which would naturally make her a more natural fit in your life. And it's not all strategy beneath the surface. This is her way of showing how much she values what's important to you by engaging with the people who matter most to you. She's probably hoping you'll notice her effort and see her in a new light. It's her delicate way of saying, I care about you and I want to fit into your life. If you spot her forming these quiet connections with your friends, take it as a sign. She's likely interested in you, and she's gently setting the stage for something more. Maybe she's waiting for you to look past the friend group and straight into her heart. What do you think? Could it finally be time to make your move? 4. She talks about hypothetical romantic scenarios. Have you noticed this? You're casually chatting and out of nowhere, she brings up something like, what's your idea of a perfect date? Or maybe it's along the lines of, how do you know when you've met the right person? It's all framed as this harmless hypothetical question, nothing too pointed or obvious. But here's the thing, it's far from random when she steers the conversation toward dreamy romantic hypotheticals. There's likely a purpose behind it. Think of it as her way of testing the waters without making a grand confession. She's subtly gathering information, piecing together your thoughts on love, relationships, and everything in between. Why? Because she's interested, not just in the answers, but in how those answers might fit with her own hopes and feelings. It's such a clever move when you think about it. By keeping the questions general, she's removed any pressure from the conversation. There's no awkward moment of wait. Why is she asking me this instead? It just feels natural, like a light-hearted conversation you'd have with any good friend. But trust me, it's intentional. This is her way of inching closer to understanding your romantic side while keeping her feelings safe. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Pay attention to her reaction when you answer. If she seems fully locked in your every word, lighting up her face, it's not just idle curiosity, she's invested, and don't forget. Yet, there's a reason she trusts you enough to have these conversations. She's opening the door just enough for you to share your thoughts and maybe realize the unspoken chemistry building between you two. Take a moment to read between the lines of these what-if scenarios. They might be her way of creating space for a deeper connection. And who knows, maybe her dream date sounds suspiciously like the kind of thing you'd love to do too. If her subtle questions are striking a romantic chord, don't ignore it. They might be her way of gently leading the conversation towards something more. All she's waiting for is your move. 5. She talks about other people being interested in her. When she casually brings up the fact that other people might be interested in her, your first instinct could be, oh, maybe she's trying to tell me she's not into me. But don't jump to conclusions just yet. This might actually mean something very different. Think about it. If she's talking to you about other guys showing her attention, it's not random. If she didn't care what you thought, why would she even bother mentioning it? This could be her subtle way of shining a little spotlight on the situation, of gauging your reaction to see if you care. It's like she's saying, look, others are interested, but what do you think? This is where it gets tricky, though. She's not going to come right out and say, hey, are you jealous? Do you care enough to make me yours? That's too vulnerable. Instead, she plays it cool, casually, dropping into the conversation, something about a guy asking her out, or someone sliding into DMS. It's her way of testing you, giving you an opening to show how you really feel. Here's the romantic twist. You're more than just a casual friend to her. That's why your response matters. She's hoping to spark something within you, maybe light a tiny flame of jealousy, just enough to see if it grows into action. She wants to know if you're willing to claim your spot in her heart before someone else does, because deep down she might just be rooting for you. But don't mistake this for her trying to make you feel insecure. It's really more about her desire to see if you'll step up. She's saying, here's the situation. Are you going to make a move or stay passive? And here's the upside. If she takes the time to bring this topic to you, of all people, it means your opinion holds weight in her life. What she's truly hoping for is to shift the dynamic between you two. So if she starts mentioning these so-called other guys, don't shrug it off. It could be the perfect moment for you to show her exactly how you feel. Or better yet, finally take that leap. She's been waiting for. Here's something exciting for you. Building the kind of connection that lasts doesn't have to be complicated. If you're ready to win her heart, click the link in the description or pin comments to unlock the secret to meaningful relationships. Start your path to love now, because the best time to act is today. 6 body language cues. You've heard it before. Body language speaks louder than words. But when it comes to her, it's more like a gentle whisper than a loud declaration. She's not throwing obvious signals your way. It's all in the subtle details, and these little cues say so much more than may seem. Picture this. She's around you, and her body language reflects a quiet kind of openness. Notice how she stands or sits. Are her shoulders slightly angled toward you? Are her arms uncrossed, her posture relaxed when you're near? Perhaps she leans in just a tad when you speak. These are all little signs that she feels comfortable and open to your presence. She's physically attuned to you in a way that seems almost instinctive. It's unspoken but deliberate. But here's where it gets interesting. While she's inviting connection with these small gestures, she's keeping a respectful boundary. No overly romantic moves, no accidental brushes of her hand, no stepping into your personal space. At least, not yet. Why? Because this is her way of playing it cool. She's careful, holding back to guard herself. The reason is simple. She's not sure how you feel, and the last thing she wants to do is put her heart on the line, only to face rejection. Think of it this way. Her body language is a green light, but she's waiting for you to drive forward. Every now and then, she offers a soft, inviting nudge in the hopes that you'll pick up on her signals the way she faces you. The lingering eye contact paired with a soft smile. Even the way her feet are pointed toward you in a crowded room. It's all her gentle way of saying, "I'm here. If you want me to be." If you're noticing these reserved but welcoming gestures, take them as an opportunity. She's given you the space to take the lead without overwhelming or pushing you. Maybe it's her quiet way of saying, "I like you, but I need to know you feel the same now." Is your chance to read these whispers and respond in kind. 7. She's always available but never pushy or right. Imagine this. You send her a message and almost instantly there's a reply. You throw out the idea of hanging out and she's always ready to make it happen. Sounds perfect, right? But if you stop to look closer, there's something subtle and meaningful tucked away in her behavior. She's always available for you, but she's never the one to take the first step in making plans. It's like she's waiting on the sidelines, giving you all the space and opportunity to take the lead. Why? Because deep down she's unsure of where you stand. She doesn't want to seem too eager or risk making you feel like she's chasing after you for her. It's about playing it cool while quietly showing she values her time with you. Her approach isn't pushy or overbearing. She doesn't bombard you with texts or try to pencil herself into your calendar at every opportunity. Instead, she's intentionally leaving the door open for you to decide when you want her there. It's thoughtful, isn't it? She's showing you she's interested, but she's also respecting your space, just in case the feelings aren't mutual. Here's the romantic nuance in all of this. She's present, always ready to share a laugh or spend time together, but she's holding her cards close to her chest. She doesn't want to risk that dreaded moment where she overextends herself, only to hear, "I think we're hanging out too much," that would break her heart. Instead, she's balancing her availability with restraint, hoping you'll see that she's there for you, but only if you want her to be. If she's consistent, showing up when you call, but never the one steering. The plans don't underestimate what that means. She's waiting for a sign from you, a signal that says you see her efforts and you want her in your life. Her quiet availability is her way of saying, "I'm here and I care, and now the ball's in your court to make the next move." 8. She seems disappointed when you talk about other women. Picture this scenario. You're talking, the conversation's flowing, and then you casually mention another woman, a friend, a co-worker, or maybe someone you find attractive. That's when you notice it. The spark dims, her energy shifts, and she might even quiet steer the conversation in another direction. It's subtle, but there's something there and it's worth paying attention to. See, her disappointment isn't loud or dramatic. She's not going to roll her eyes or throw a jealous comment your way. That would make her feelings far too obvious, wouldn't it? Instead, her reaction is understated, almost resigned, like a little disappointment. She's trying to shrug off, but make no mistake, it's real deep down. She wishes the woman you were talking about wasn't just some other woman. She wishes it were her. What's happening here is a little heartbreaking, but also incredibly revealing. She's caught in this tug of war between her emotions and her pride. On one hand, she wants so badly for you to notice her, to share some kind of romantic acknowledgement between you two. On the other hand, she can't bring herself to openly react because she fears it would give too much away. Vulnerability is scary, especially when she's not sure you're feeling the same way. Instead, she relies on these quiet, unspoken cues, her mood dropping slightly, her smile fading, or her quickly changing the subject. It's her way of gently pulling your focus back, as if to say, "Hey, what about me?" Without risking exposure, The reality is, she cares every little instance when you mention another woman feels to her like a reminder that you might not see her in the way she sees you, and yet, despite her internal conflict, she stays and continues to be part of your life, all while hoping you'll notice the subtlety of her signals. If you catch these shift in the vibe, don't dismiss them. They're a quiet invitation for you to turn your attention her way, to recognize the one person who's been quietly hoping you'll see the potential for something more between you two. 9. She asks about your love life in a friendly way. Ever noticed how she casually weaves questions about your love life into conversations? It's subtle, almost like she's testing the waters. She might nonchalantly ask, "Are you seeing anyone?" or "What's your type?" as if it's just casual talk. But deep down, there's more to these questions than meets the eye. This isn't just small talk. It's her way of gathering little bits of information about you while keeping the vibe light and unassuming. She's curious, of course, but she's careful. She doesn't want to come off too strong or make her intentions obvious. Instead, she life frames her questions like she's just making conversation, all while hoping your answers will tell her what she's dying to know. Think of it this way. If she didn't care about you, would she even bother these little probes into your love life? Are her way of figuring out where she stands? Are you single? Are you into someone else? Do you have a type that she might fit into? She's playing a delicate game, balancing her curiosity against her fear of coming across as too invested. Notice how she keeps the questions friendly, never pressing too hard or lingering too long on the topic. She's trying to make it seem like no big deal. But every answer you give is a piece of the puzzle she's putting together in her mind. She's fishing for clues, hoping she'll discover something, anything that suggests you might be open to something more with her. Now here's the romantic twist by asking about your love life. In such an understated way, she's leaving plenty of room for you to turn the tables and show some interest in her. Maybe she's hoping you'll ask questions about back, or even give her a hint of what you're looking for that might line up with who she is. It's her gentle way of saying, "I care enough to want to know where your heart is." Do you care enough to notice me when she does this? Don't brush it off. It's not just idle curiosity. It's an invitation wrapped in the guise of casual conversation for you to take the next step. Hold on a moment. This could change everything for you. Are you hoping to win the heart of the woman you've always admired? The solution might be just a click away. Head to the link in the description or pin comments to reveal the secrets. To cultivating a deep and lasting bond, start turning your dreams into reality. Now wrapping it up all right. That's a wrap on today's video about the signs a girl likes you but thinks you're not interested. Love, as you know, can be full of unspoken words and gentle signals, and it's those tender, subtle cues that often reveal the most. If you've noticed any of these signs, don't underestimate them. They're her way of sharing her feelings without saying too much, of hoping you'll notice her without needing to spell it out. Here's the thing, relationships thrive on courage, and sometimes you've got to take that leap of faith. If her actions resonate with anything we talked about today, it might be time to stop guessing and start talking. An open, honest conversation could be all it takes to turn those subtle signs into something real and meaningful. If this video gave you some clarity, go ahead and hit that like button. It means the world to us and helps others find this content too. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on decoding love and relationships. Got a story question or your own insights? Drop a comment below. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. And hey, don't miss out on what's next. Tap that notification bell and stay connected. Until next time, go out there and make your move. Love might just be waiting for you.